Welcome to Sex, Lies, and Blank Pages with our very special guest, Willow's husband, Shawn.
Literally,
I think a lot of
Hi.
people have been waiting for this one.
yeah, literally, he's in the basement, guys.
I am in the basement. This is where I work from. It's where I do
Yeah.
my
He's
best
not
work.
always in the garage.
Yeah,
Oh,
not
but
always. Not always. That is a playroom. For those of you who can't see, it is the playroom. And Shawn is in his gaming
I-
chair.
Not
I
that
am-
kind of playroom.
I am next to a fish tank and a dollhouse. So
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to get into you guys' kink level, but sure, okay.
That would be
Kids
something
playroom,
else.
kids play-
Fish
yeah.
tank. What is that show with the fish? What is that show that we just saw where he's with the octopus?
there's a lot of fish. Like a whoa.
No, the one
Oh.
with the octopus. Where
There-
he's in
Oh,
love
There's
The
a whole
Boys?
series.
The boys. Yeah, for you to say I'm next to a
can't.
fish tank and a dog.
I can't. The boys is like too brutal for me. I tried
They're
because
too brutal.
Jensen
Yes.
Ackles and everything, but
Yeah.
that's just like
Yes. So that's one
Yeah.
of our things when we first started dating, Shawn and I. It was movies and
Fish.
like no,
movies,
not
okay.
fish, not fish. Even though he did have a tortoise. No, you had a turtle named
Turtle. I had
Steve.
a turtle.
Yes, a turtle named Steve, who was a woman. She was female, and she hated life and everyone else. Okay,
Can
so
I relate to Steve?
yes.
Steve and I.
Same.
Yes. Steve unfortunately would fall down the stairs all the time.
Me too,
Steve-
Steve.
She was trying
No,
to
no,
fall
no.
down, like
Steve
throwing
would-
herself down the stairs.
Steve would climb 2 stairs and then
And then
topple backwards over 2 of them. Like
Yes.
I don't know why she kept doing it, but she would climb one, kind of get to the next one, and then
Well,
fall
I give
backwards.
up on life.
Isn't that like, I know, right? Yes. So Shawn is on the podcast today, not just because he is my sweet, darling husband who puts up with me, but if you have watched any of my social media, you'll know that he helps me in a number of ways with the business. What people don't know is that he's also 50% owner of the company, CEO, and in charge of so much more than anybody can see. And it's all the stuff that I don't like. So we would love to have your perspective on the romance industry in which you do not read books. It relies on social media and you do not have it. And yet you are very much ingrained in the success of Willow Winters Publishing, LLC. So welcome, baby.
Your choice
Thank
or
you.
not. You're ingrained.
What kind of what perspective exactly are you looking for? Because I mean, you guys
Well,
do.
first of all-
it's such a large industry with a ton of
It
different
is.
aspects on it.
So a lot of people think that you're just in the garage, that you just quit your job to do edges on books in the garage, and that you say funny things, and that's basically like I don't
So
think they
maybe
know
give
just
us,
how much you
like,
do.
A
Oh.
day in the life of what you do
So
for her.
what I'll do is honestly, I do the edge work, I do the gluing, but a lot of the things behind the scenes are like the financial aspects of it. Once you start making any type of real money, the government has a whole bunch of rules and regulations for how you have to pay taxes on it, where we have to pay taxes on it. As we're selling things in the store, we have to pay individual state sales taxes now. And
Only
that
if you
mean-
hit certain amounts in
Yeah.
different states. Yeah.
And as we go, we have to register in those states. It's not like an automatic thing that happens. And I'll help out with that. I will do our end of year taxes. I'll collect all of the W-9s from all of the people who do the beautiful art for us, all the cover images, any of the formatting for the interiors, all of that stuff.
Not he
And-
doesn't do the
No, I
formatting
don't
for the
do
interiors.
the
He
art.
pays
I-
everyone, and he
I
pays
collect-
everyone
yeah.
monthly. Yeah. Earlier today, you were on a call with the accountant.
Yes, I was.
Yes.
We were
He's like
just
thrilled.
basically making sure that we knew where all of the payments went to. We knew, like how to classify them because the end of year is starting to come around and we need to have everything ready to go for that.
So if all of that sounds really boring, that's why Shawn does it.
Yeah. We all
Oh.
want a Shawn.
Yeah.
I wish that I could show you the little flow chart of, is it a
Oh my
Shawn job or
gosh.
not?
Yeah. Literally, that flowchart was phenomenal. One day, everybody was like, Shawn, Shawn, Shawn. And he posted a
Let's
flowchart
see.
in a Facebook Messenger channel that was all with like everybody who works in the shop. It had Sophie in it.
I don't know if you guys can see it. Like I could.
I think
have
you
it.
should do it. We'll describe it for those on the podcast and maybe include it in the comments below.
Do you want
because
me to
it's-
share my screen? Am I allowed to do
Sure.
that?
I do, my love.
Sure.
Please do because it's hysterical. Okay,
So
go ahead,
the
describe
top one, is it heavy? Yes or no? Yes. Can it be done by the people to shop alone? No. Get Shawn on it. Yes. Do they want to do it? No. Get Shawn on it. Yes.
it.
Can someone get hurt doing it? No. Probably not Shawn work. Yes. Get Shawn on it. On the top
Shawn
is
have a hernia now.
if it's not fun or if it's not heavy, is it fun? No. Get Shawn on it. Yes. It is fun. Have we ever done it before though? No. Get Shawn on it. Yes, we have done it before and it is fun. Did something go wrong last time? Yes, get Shawn on it. No, probably not Shawn work.
That's literally the whole flow.
Oh,
It was
wow.
hysterical, absolutely hysterical. Also, he used company time to make that flow chart, and I'm sure the IRS cares about that.
They probably do.
Yeah.
I mean, it was informative, so it was important.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
I love everything that we do not want to do and is no fun. But if it's fun, sorry, Shawn.
Exactly. That's how it is sometimes.
Well,
But-
okay, but you can't say it's not fun when you get us drunk at an event and you have to tape record us running down the street doing something stupid. I mean,
Yeah,
I
was
mean
fun.
that is
Those
very
things I like to
entertaining.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But-
And it's better than a different job, isn't it? Like one thing when you first started that you said that I was like, that's not true. Is, you said something about working for me. And you don't work for me. We work together in a 50%, 50% CEO capacity for a multi-million-dollar company. And that's kind of cool and kind of fun, isn't it?
It is, but it's really hard because it's almost like we got married a second time there because
We did.
our first marriage, like honestly, you know people personally, like we got to know each other, we were compatible and everything, but that's on a personal level, like the way that you handle tasks around the house, like we would argue over like hanging photos and stuff like that
Mhm.
based on like, oh, the position, the height,
Mhm.
like how
Yeah.
to do it best. Now, when we're running the company, we have those same arguments and
But it's
we
very
had to
meaningful.
figure out
Yeah.
how to handle those.
Yeah.
money
That
is
was
the
the hardest
biggest
part.
like
It was-
dividing of relationships
Yeah.
of any, family,
It-
marriages like that. That's a
Yeah.
hard, that's another like business. I mean, like relationship you need, and most people keep it
Mhm.
outside of their family. Yeah.
I think it probably took hiring our financial manager before our working relationship was smooth because it was rough for a few months. When you said, would you agree with that statement that when you first started
it
working
was.
full time? Yeah.
And honestly, it wasn't even the money aspect. It was how we
No.
did things. The two of us do stuff completely different.
Well, I was also, and I was very stressed at the time. This is back when he quit his job right before I left. No, sorry, you quit your job and shortly after I left Kindle Unlimited because he saw to go wide. He asked me to quit because he saw how stressed I was with how much was going on. And back then I was publishing a book a month. I was co-writing them with Lauren Landish,
God.
but we had to keep it up. And they're only 55K books. So it's like 25,000 words a month. But it's over and over again and editing and publishing. And back then I wasn't as involved with social media. We didn't have cover reveals. We just threw the book up. This was 8 years ago. And I was absolutely towards burnout. And Shawn said he wanted me to quit. And our compromise was that I would go wide because I wouldn't feel the pressure of holding rank, keeping rank, spending money to get the author bonuses and all of that. So that was difficult. And then shortly after that, we sold our house, bought a house, and then we got a financial manager and owed $72,000 in taxes. And we're making less because we were wide. And our financial manager was like, it would have been great 6 months ago if I was involved in any of this, but we'll clean this up. And that was Shawn's entrance into the business and his position of figuring out how we're going to
Well,
make this
and
work.
I did the ads for the longest time.
And that was
I'm
horrendous.
sorry.
Oh.
That was
Yeah.
very rough.
It was
Not
not
only-
good on our marriage. It was not good.
I am not very good with even colors. Like if you ask me to match colors, I can't really do it. I am
That's a
not
man
a
thing.
copy man. I am not an image person either.
Mhm.
I would look at something and say, "Oh, this is great," but
I didn't
honestly,
like it.
it really wasn't great, and she wouldn't like
Mhm.
it, or our styles would conflict there because we're very different people who work really
Yeah.
well in a marriage, and we were trying to figure out how to work together in a business, and it was interesting.
He
We
would
had
also
some- Yeah.
we had some moments. He also would read my books in order to get copy, right? And he would be reading some books that were very like personal to me, right? And I'm thinking like he's feeling what I'm feeling. And then I'd like he's done and everything, and I would ask him, and he'd be like, "Yeah, it's good." Like, or just like, yeah, like, yeah, I got like basically bluntest of blunt.
yeah.
And I'm like, this wasn't business, Willow. This was personal, Willow, who just asked you. And you, I'm like, no, now I'm crying.
And we have to, like, we'll fully admit, us artists, we're crazy when it comes to like, we're so emotionally attached to these things. Poor Colleen gets it from me. I'm like, how'd you like my latest one? How'd you like it? And I'm like, but be harsh on me, but don't really be harsh on me.
Yeah.
But did you like it? What did you like about it? Like, I mean, like, I need more than like, it was good.
Literally.
That's like,
yeah.
that's like to like us artists, that's like really a kiss of death. Good,
Mhm.
nice is like,
yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
it's awful. Yeah.
When I was reading, though, I wasn't reading for pleasure. I was trying to find quotes, ideas, concepts, and themes of the story so that I could run the ads then and make a campaign out of it. I read differently if I'm reading for like pleasure, which I would have had a very like detailed like breakdown about. But honestly, I wasn't looking at that. I'm trying to find, oh, what's your
Yeah.
overall theme? How is this book going to fit into the categories? How am I going to get keywords? How am I going to get little snippets so I can put them on ads? And when you're doing that, you don't quite appreciate a book. And you're like, oh, okay, well, it was good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Then
didn't get the story.
now we don't do ads because of this, but I just came back from Romance Author Mastermind in Houston, Texas, and everyone was talking ads, ads, ads. Everybody said you should really do ads, ads, ads. Shawn will not be doing the ads. I will not be doing that. Like if we ever do ads again, it'll be an outside party.
I'm back on
Yeah.
ads. I don't know. I feel like that's something a lot of people just say,
Mhm.
you know, and I'm like, but are they helping? I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, I just feel like in this industry, they kind of have you like, they're like, oh, you made so much money on this. Now we're going to drop you down. So you have to pay more money to even get back to that level. You know,
Mhm.
it's just,
That's the
I-
hard part about the entire industry is that most times when you're doing ads, it could be on Amazon, right? Could
Mhm.
be on Amazon, but still that's kind of a black box. You don't really know where that sale's coming from. They can attribute anything. They're Amazon. They could do whatever they really want. And then if you're doing it if you're doing ads on Facebook or if you're doing ads on TikTok or whatever, there's no true way to attribute a sale to that TikTok or that
Well, they do
Facebook.
have affiliate links for Facebook now where you can
But-
see directly. Like that's what my co-author Lauren Landish recently we were talking. We just released a book together. She does ads. I agreed. You're publishing this. You do your thing. And she said you can. Also, we do have direct sales now. Back then, when we did ads, it was all Amazon and Kindle Unlimited, right? And also at wide platforms and first and series free and such. But now we have our direct sales. We have Kickstarter where a single item, it's going to be $1,700 for that highest tier. That's a lot of margin that you can use in revenue to potentially figure out ads in time. So,
and that's why I like direct sales way more because it gives us a lot of information.
one of the
and this
things
is why, again, sorry, we need a Shawn because most of us are like, blah,
Yes.
blah, blah,
Yes.
blah, blah.
That's also why I love having Shawn as my partner in this business because we get into our little circles. We love the industry. We love the other authors in it. We love our books. We all kind of do a little bit of, you know, not circle jerk, but kind of like that, right? Where this is working and then everybody does it, but
Yeah.
was it actually working? We don't know. Whereas Shawn is outside of the industry looking at like solely looking at profit margins and ROI and taxes and he's able to break things down in a way that is devoid of emotion entirely, which is where I was like, hold on, I'm still your wife. But it's very helpful to see things in a different perspective, and we don't always have that in this industry. It's very
So
rare.
actually, then I'm interested from an outsider view of being kind of watching this from, you know, Willow, you know, going with her to these events. How have you feel like this industry has changed or, you know, is it evolving in which way, you know, like negative, good, you know, I'm
I
just
think
wondering
that
as an outsider coming to these things.
I think that it's the same, but the way that they achieve that sameness is different. So like when we first started, everyone was all friends on Facebook, and you kind of knew each other, and all the events that we went to, we knew people and everyone was friends. Now it's more like the social media aspect is still there. Everyone still kind of congregates together. They share their ideas. People help out each other quite a bit. And I like that. It was always very welcoming. Every time we went to an event, all the people there are usually very happy. The interesting thing is, like, anytime you go to a signing, just meeting the readers was great, and seeing how other authors interact with readers, it's something else to watch an author interact with an actual enthusiastic reader, because the smile that the author gets and just the happiness that the reader has, it's unparalleled. And I mean, it's stayed the same throughout the entire time that we've been here, and like that being the core, but the way that they've gotten there has been different the whole, like,
I was
throughout.
going to say, it sounded like you were about to say something, but you realized that it's not exactly positive. And then you switched it up to be like, here's the really positive part. It's just the way that it's different now. And I think that we can say it out loud. A lot of authors have to kowtow now, or they really want to make an impact for certain people now. And it's because it's okay to say it out loud, my love. We don't have to be.
We talk about anything here.
Yes. Yes, it's still
Yes.
it's very welcoming. It's just more welcoming for others sometimes now from a social media perspective at certain events. And it's interesting to see how authors sometimes adjust because money isn't the same. Maybe things have gone down, and they truly believe, because we've seen with evidence, that if so-and-so only had it. So instead of it being, the book bloggers, like the Facebook book bloggers back then, where there's only a couple, now you have hundreds. There's also a very big difference between book signings that are heavy in TikTok influencers versus heavy in former audience that is still primarily on Facebook. So I think that might have been what you were alluding to, and attempted a very positive sunshine rainbows way of saying it. Sometimes people are nasty online, and then they're in person, and now you have to figure out. Like, I don't think that a lot of the younger generation.
All right, I'm
right?
I'm really sorry. I didn't want to go there right now. It wasn't something that I was trying to introduce as a topic. I was simply being nice.
Yes. I mean, I think that there's a lot more that we can say. Shawn likes to be nice. I like to be straightforward. I can still be nice by being straightforward. I think a lot of the younger generation don't realize a lot of things until, oh, that's the person that I talked shit about online for likes and follows, and that's their table. And my besties all want to go read her books. But I think that, though, what you said initially, sweetheart, about how there's a lot that's the same, but we get there different ways. I think that's also, I think there's also a lot to that. Like with the pay to play back then, can be pay to play now, but the difference is the amount of money. Yeah. And
yes.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Ads have gotten very expensive, and there's more people doing them as the
for
romance.
less. Also, it's expensive for less.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah.
And there are more authors now. It has become incredibly easy to just publish your book, and that
There used to be, years ago, there used to be, it was like 1,000 authors a day that were new publishing on Amazon. I'm going to Google it. How many new authors publish a day on Amazon? This was years ago. And let me see if I can even find it. You guys can talk about something else while I'm. Oh my gosh. 7,500 new Kindle ebooks are published daily.
Oh, wow.
Daily.
And that was in 2023.
Damn.
Yeah.
So it's more than that now. Definitely.
Right.
Yeah.
But okay, there's more now, and yes, it's easier to publish, but at the same time, when we all first, especially when I first started, you could just throw it up and become Amazon top selling just on that. And now it's this whole process of cover reveals and this and that and ads. And I mean, you can't just step into this business anymore and just put up your book and be like, okay, I'm going to be number one, so
yeah,
even if there's a lot
there
of
are
people,
some
a lot of money.
There are some publishers who put the thumb on the scale for books.
Yes. Oh,
Yes.
yes.
And
We've
that
seen that many times lately.
that
Mhm.
works against a lot of people who are indie authors too.
Mhm.
So
You're also discussing like rank and Amazon still. I think one of the things that I'm really happy that we did was creating that other perspective. So by the time I go to publish on Amazon, I've already had pre-orders for 3 months on my website, and I've already made more than enough to call this a successful release. And I think if more authors were to do that, there would be a shift in energy and there would be more stability, I think.
I would
personally.
love to take that away from Amazon. I feel a
Yeah.
lot of us are slowly, again, it's hard to take on a shop on your own because we don't have a fucking Shawn.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Plus 3 full-time employees and 2 part-time employees in a warehouse. Yeah.
But I think more and more people I'm talking to are like, I'm starting mine too. And like a lot of people are, because I think we're just tired of playing their game. It's like, we need to take back the power a bit. Cause I just feel like they talk about the thumb, not only just houses or these new little indie, pop-up things, but Amazon, all these
Mhm.
Barnes and Nobles, they all kind of put the thumb on us of like, nope, you
Yeah.
got to stay down.
I described it as a ceiling where people are putting planks, like they're literally nailing planks to lower the floor every day. Like it just, and it changes so frequently. I don't know why I did this. That's been.
You were hammering.
I was
You're trying to
hammering.
hammer.
Stop with your
hammering.
similes today.
Yeah.
With the sand, the planks.
I
don't know.
It's
We
a
have pirate thing
Monday.
happening.
Monday is Mondaying, and poor Shawn has to deal with me every day of the year. So actually, here's a good question for my husband. Back then, when I had a book release years ago, how is it different compared to today when I have a book release?
Well, back then, so what I would do probably the day before all the way up to like 3 days after, I would be doing the ads. I had probably like 5 campaigns, all with multiple ads, multiple different combinations. I was ready to go testing every type of ad possible. And then I would just keep shuffling through them. Willow was going nuts. Like she was trying to post everywhere. She was a wreck. She was looking at rank. She was trying to get just everything perfect. Even though she's worked so hard on this book and she knows it's great, she's a wreck because she wants it to be out there. She wants like this number to happen.
Well, also it was the money, right? Like you would quit your job. The money also took 60 to 90 days.
I
to
was going
get to
like
us.
a year, not like the immediate.
Yeah.
The first couple books that we did on Wide were, oh boy, that one was the hardest one that I had ever experienced in my entire life. I will never go on a cruise because of it.
Yeah,
I will literally never go on another cruise because of that.
It wasn't. I launched a book while on a cruise, while on deadline with limited internet.
As the first book that has ever been published wide by Willow
No, we
Winters.
had Forget Me Not had been published. This was
it
it was Unforgiven, or it was
Imperfect.
Two?
It was
yeah,
the
Imperfect.
first wide book ever. It was done on the cruise. Yes.
Okay, well, my
if
memory
anybody wants to know what it's like sitting
and
at
it was
dinner
the
with
first
these
book
two.
that I was fully responsible for the ads, but I didn't know that I was fully responsible for the ads yet.
Who else would have been responsible for
Because
the ads?
the previous guy who had just done all the ads a month ago, I had thought that I was going to get like, hey, well, here's what I've been doing. Like, we're going to go through it on this one, and we're just going to get it done. He just stopped, and then I was like, I don't have any ads. I'm in the middle of the ocean on the way to Alaska on a boat. And she's like, where are the ads for this? What is going on? And she's a wreck because, again, she poured her soul into this book. She wants to make it a success. I had just quit.
Also, we had Evie. Evie was a little bitty thing. Jax still couldn't wipe his butt. Like, so you can't leave, like, he still needed a lot. Like, I said that for relevance because you can't leave him in the daycare for any amount of time at all if they cannot, like, you have to have you have to be available because if they go to the bathroom.
And he was still potty training. I had gotten peed on 3 times during that because I would be holding him and he's like, oh, hey, we have to go. I have to go potty. And I'm running down the hallway and he just didn't make it. And it was, I think it happened like 3 times. It was a mess.
Fun fact, everyone in our family has peed and thrown up on Shawn. Right?
Oh,
including the dog.
Dog.
Yeah, I threw up on him. I haven't peed on you. That I'm aware of.
No.
This is taking a turn.
Okay, guys, let's bring this back. Because honestly, guys, anybody wants to know what it's like hanging out with these two at events, this is it. We just are missing alcohol right now.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So the fun fact is only the throw up. I also do have the alcohol. This had ice in it earlier. It's melted, but I have a LaCroix with peach something vodka. I don't know what it is, but it's delicious. But yeah, for the record, I've only thrown up on him, which was not a part of a kink. It was an accident. It was when we were dating, actually. And he proposed a couple months later too. I was shocked.
Oh,
I thought it was the end of it. I really
no,
did.
that's a bonding. That's like,
Yeah.
I've taken you to throw up on me and we're still going.
I had Benadryl. This is a fun story. Is it okay if I tell this story? It has nothing to do with publishing. One day I'm going to write it in a book. So we were out at a party. This is in college. Shawn was a graduate student and he was a TA at the time. I was an undergrad. And
not her TA, not anywhere near her.
We shared the same office though.
Yeah, we shared the same office.
That would have been fun.
Yes, we shared the same office. And I was finishing up to get to finish my dissertation so I could get a BS in biology. I have a BA in neuroscience. So I'm dating him and all of the grad students all lived in the same apartment building. And this is like, what is this, November, baby? Or it had to have been late October because I'd made those stupid pumpkin pies.
October, November, yeah.
Yeah, I had a rash around my fingers because I developed an allergy to acrylic. So I was taking Benadryl and it was a horrid day. I didn't eat. I was stressed out. Like I'm trying to just finish this up, basically. I tried to make little pumpkin pies inside of pumpkins for this party. They all burned. It was awful. They tasted, I don't know what I did wrong. I don't know. So I haven't eaten. I'm taking a lot of Benadryl and we're walking to this party. Right. And you literally walk up one street, over one street, and there's the other apartment.
Not even a street. It was a parking lot. It was literally the parking lot. But it's a long parking lot because it's a whole complex.
And it had been snowing, right? Had it been snowing or did it snow?
There was snow on the ground.
There was snow. And I'm in like this, like, I'm trying to look cute, right? Because I'm his girlfriend. I want to keep him and not have him go to one of these graduate students. So we're in there. I had a single glass of wine. And he watched this with his eyeballs. He saw me as a wreck in his apartment, but sober and fine, to one glass of wine at the party. And I took my Benadryl literally with the wine in the bathroom. If you read that bottle, when it says that, what does it say? The whatever may intensify.
Yeah.
It does intensify. The side effects may intensify and side effects include passing out and throwing up. Okay. So I'm now visibly unwell at this party, like as if I'm like wasted off of one glass of wine. He thought somebody drugged me or something, not one of his friends, but like something happened. Yeah. Right. So he says, let's go home. We're walking home. I sat down in the grass and said, it's rude that you didn't go get your car and warm it up and then drive me home. I'll wait here for you. I could see his apartment. I could see the car, which is what registered that I should ask him to go get the car and warm it up for me. He says, you're being ridiculous. Get inside. We go inside. I lay on the bed, pass out, right? I wake up right on top of him. I am not well. I remember looking at him and thinking, he's literally holding up the covers, like over I could just see his little eyeballs peeking out. I remember thinking, I'm going to throw up again. I should move. And then I waited a second, threw up at him again. He strips me down.
Why make two messes?
Yeah, well, it gets worse. He strips me down, puts me into the shower, ice cold because it hasn't warmed up yet. But obviously I'm not in a great position. And then I hear, Mom, because he called his mom to see what to do.
Because the other call was going to be 911. She didn't have anything to drink.
I hadn't eaten either. I'd barely eaten.
I am worried because I had never seen someone have, I think it wasn't even a whole glass of wine.
No,
and
I didn't even get to
she's just
it.
Completely out of it. It wasn't that she was throwing up. Obviously, like you could handle that or whatever, but she was out of it. And you could see it in her eyes.
Alcohol poisoning is a thing, okay? So don't take his word for granted right there. But yeah, but literally when I write our book, that will be going into the book about our story, because I just remember thinking like, romantic. Yeah. Well, I just remember thinking, it sucks I threw up on him, but I think it's going to be okay. He did throw away my topper though. He had a very hard mattress. I like to soft. He threw the whole thing away. And I was like, I feel like the topper was fine. And that was just him. That was his anger. It's like, I'm getting rid of her topper then. But literally hearing him call his mother, who I hadn't met, and literally like the tone
You'd
of
met
his
her
voice.
at that point.
I hadn't met your mom yet.
Yeah. Because I
Nuh-uh,
proposed.
her and Carm came. You proposed 2
I-
months later, and I met her in November.
No, you met her before that.
Okay.
Because
Did I?
she'd seen Jake. Yeah.
She had seen Jake. Had she seen? I don't know. We're gonna have to call
Nobody-
his mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna have to call
She'd
his
seen
mom.
Jake. We have a photo, and I have a little
we have a
video
lifeline
of
here?
Jake.
Call the mom.
No, she came to go to see you, but I wasn't there yet.
I literally have the video of puppy Jake running around in Carbondale
Okay. All right. This
In
is
the-
what we
in
do
the
in
summer.
the business too.
Yeah.
in the summer.
Yeah. That could be. Okay.
This
so
is
I
a
have,
great story
yeah,
to
I
wrap
think
up
he's
now.
right. I think he is
Well,
right.
not
yeah.
summer. I think it was like
Yeah.
late August or whatever.
Okay, yeah. So right before. Either way, mortifying. No idea why I told that story. I forget the purpose. Baby, do you have any advice for any authors who want their husbands to join the business?
You have to be ready for not a rocky relationship, but you have to be ready to change your relationship and be accepting to criticism and be able to give criticism without fear that it's going to affect your personal relationship. Because that's for me, the hardest thing was I didn't want to let her down or tell her no for the longest time, because I never want to I never want to tell her no. I want her to have the happiest life ever.
Guess
But
what his
at-
most spoken word is?
yeah,
now.
but now you have to, though, because you're now half of this business to contribute to your entire family. So if you think that something isn't going to be good, you owe it to the rest of the family to try to, either steer away or at least get like an outside perspective on what is going to happen, so that you could either change it or not do it. Or
I do think that you're touching on a really good point here also, is that having that outside perspective, that like that person who's going to break the tie, basically, who is knowledgeable about the industry. I think that's very helpful. I really do, because I've been very strong-headed about ideas that you've thought were a bad idea. And then we have a third party say, well, once you do this, then you can do that. And then it has been successful. Or they side one way or the other, typically. And it's easier if it's somebody who's not the person you're married to. It's way easier.
And a great story to maybe end this off is the time that I brought up the idea of doing a podcast, and you looked at Willow and was like, no.
And here we are.
Here we are.
Season
For her
2.
listening to him.
Yeah.
Thank you for not listening to him again.
Yes, I know, right? And now you
Yeah.
guys got a fun story that has absolutely nothing to do. I mean, if you ever want to get me to talk, just put me next to my husband and ask him a question, and then I'll be talking because I'll answer over him. Yeah.
Thank you for coming on, Shawn. I'm sure you'll come
Yes.
back because, we
Yeah.
always need a Shawn.
Oh, definitely. And Shawn
no
has
problem. It was fun.
Yeah. Shawn has strong opinions too on a lot of things that I think it's good to have different opinions and to talk about things, and he can be devil's advocate for a lot of things that really make me think. So yeah, you should come on again, baby. Would you like it?
It was a lot of fun. I would come on again. Yeah.
I mean, it's
Okay,
not like
good.
he has to go far, right?
That's true. Yeah,
I know,
that's
right?
true. Yeah. All right. Thank you for being a part of it, guys. If you have
All
any
right.
questions for Shawn or any of us, please leave your comments below. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Tag your bestie too and her husband, and we'll see you guys next time.